Hi everybody, it's Peter Stockdale, the host of the Spin Market Report. Are you looking for a new place to advertise your business? With over 85,000 YouTube impressions and 20,000 total streams across all platforms in the last 12 months, the Spin Market Podcast Network could be the prime space you've been looking for to advertise your business. Get a hold of Spin Market today and see what advertising on a podcast can do for you. Visit www.spinmarketwith2ks.com or email digitalagent@spinmarket.com for more information.
It's the Spin Market Report. Here's your host, Peter Stockdale.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's the Spin Market Report. Sitting down today with Kainen Fuson. All right, you are an intern, correct?
Yes.
And I got your name right, correct?
Yes, you did.
Oh, man, I'm getting really good at this. You give me about 20 tries at anything,
Right?
I'll get pretty good at it.
Hey, if I would have done that, I would have been like,
It does get
You nailed it.
butchered a lot. I will be honest. So
Oh, I bet. So, call him whatever you want. Don't call him late for supper. It's Kainen Fuson here. Intern at Spin Market. How did you get lined up at Spin Market? How did you find Spin Market to make an internship out of it? Let me ask you that.
so I was going here at Iowa Central here in Fort Dodge, and so during the second semester, we as a program came here to come visit and was kind of toured around and whatnot. And when the internship possibility was brought up, I'm like, you know what? That's like, will definitely give me something to do along the lines of what I'm interested in. Mm-hmm. Because beforehand, I was just working at the rec centers and whatnot. I'm like, where was this whole time?
Yeah, no kidding.
And so it would definitely help. I knew it was going to help benefit what I want to do, and introduce like different kinds of opportunities for me going forward.
Yeah. So your major is in. I mean, I'm assuming you're not doing like an accounting major. And then
No.
Well, I guess that would work because Dawn's here.
I did graduate.
Only one of us has done that before.
There's two people in here with accounting degrees.
So I did graduate with my digital media degree back in May.
Oh,
but, I did a year at DMAC back in 2021. And so I already had some classes that I had credited towards a gen ed like degree, whatever. Mm-hmm. And so I just found out I was 4 classes away from just getting another one. So I'm like, you know what?
I'll
just come back. Yeah, just walk away with two degrees. Just
might as well
bust it out.
Yeah, I mean that's the way I did it at Iowa Central. Might have spent a little bit more time there than most people, but I walked out with the 2.
Yeah, nope, that's fair. That's fair.
So why did you choose Iowa Central? I mean, you said you went to DMAC first, right?
Yes. So I had a friend. So I grew up in Woodward here in Iowa, and went to Woodward Granger. And I had a friend of mine named Christian who he was like, oh yeah, I'm looking into going to Iowa Central this fall. Would you be interested in going? And I'm like, I don't know. Like, I was like, it's kind of like a big move. Like, I'm still committed to DMAC right now. And then it kind of hit me. I'm like, what am I even doing at DMAC right now that's related to what I want to do? Oh. And because I was originally just going to get the credits to transfer to like a university. But I'm like, when I looked into Iowa Central and I saw the digital media program, I'm like, might as well just kind of jump in and see what it's all about. But honestly, like immediately off the bat, I was kind of sucked in. And my professor, it was her first year like teaching there as well. So who ran the program. And so with it being my first year there as well, I kind of jumped in a little bit to like be like, okay, like I have some like project ideas we can do. This is like what we can do to get students more interested, I think. Because a lot of it at first was like lecture based. And then kind of started hitting us. I'm like, what if we started like doing it like really hands on? And then that's kind of like when the students themselves started getting more involved, and then that's kind of what they're still doing now. So
nice. Yeah, I mean, kudos to you for figuring out that you went to a college just because it was like kind of what you wanted to do, and then realizing it might not have been able to help you do all that you wanted to do. Yeah. I mean, I went to college and then kind of just left because it didn't do what I wanted to do.
No, totally fair.
So at least you stuck with it at another college.
Yeah.
Hats off to that. You didn't have to go back in your 20s like I did.
Honestly, like I just I kind of like the just charm of Fort Dodge. I don't know. There's just like a certain kind of charm to it. Like so it's kind of because Woodward's a population of just barely 1,000 people. And of course it's got all of its stuff. It's got the High Trestle Trail Bridge. It's got all that and whatnot. But like there's just so much more to do here in Fort Dodge without having to, go to Des Moines and have it be too overwhelming. Like it's like that nice little middle ground. So
yeah, I was thinking that like Woodward and like Granger, they're like if you go down 141, you can basically like throw a rock into Woodward and you almost
literally
drive through Granger. So that makes sense that your natural route would just be like just keep going and go down to Des Moines.
Yeah, exactly. No, as I say, when it comes to like going somewhere, because like Woodward obviously doesn't have any big chain grocery stores. So we'd end up just like having to drive to Grimes, like make that kind of commute to go get groceries, do that kind of thing. So it was always just driving back and forth from the small town to the way bigger towns. So it makes sense. DMAC makes a little more sense now. To me, because it's like it's about halfway in between, but it's actually like 3/4 of the way in between here in Des Moines, isn't it? It's quite a ways down there. So all right. So why did you decide to choose this major? Was like I know you like video cameras. I know you like video recording stuff and kind of making movies. I mean, he's shaking his head. Yes, he's always comes in like, look what I did this weekend. And it's like, my favorite thing was he's like, I found a stick and it made me think of like, I could make a little video like this. And then he just makes a video out of it. That's creativity at its fine. He's laughing about it, but it's like, I didn't have that creativity or ingenuity to just be like, oh, this rock looks neat. I'm going to go make a video out of a rock, And
maybe you should, Peter. I mean, seriously.
I don't have the drive. That's why he's here and I'm not. Why did you choose that major? Was it something that's always interested you since a young age, or?
Yes. Honestly, like making movies was just on my phone or my parents' like digital camera was always my thing growing up. Like I would always steal their phones at first, and I would just be like make little movies with my brothers and sisters, or even my friends. And I think it was until like this was all the way up from like first grade up until like fifth grade, and then once I was going into middle school, I was to the age where my parents were allowing me to have a YouTube channel. And so then I started like making videos and everything, like publishing them on YouTube. They're not there anymore. Because just out of embarrassment.
I want to go find them.
I think I privated them all.
That's good. That's the way to do it. You never know when you need to pull them back out.
Yeah, exactly.
Put them on DVD extras when you win some awards or something.
But I was going to say, no, that my passion for like what I've wanted to do has really not changed my whole life. Like I've known what I've wanted to do. That's awesome. So I've just kind of kept pursuing it. But like going to Woodward Granger, there wasn't a whole lot of opportunities like that. Like I wouldn't really say I was like the school smarts best, but I was still like trying to help the school with editing videos and doing graphics and whatnot as well. So
yeah, I mean, a good school district will recognize students like that and then utilize their talents instead of just being like, you got a B in math, we don't like you, or whatever. It's like, well, he's good at doing this stuff. Let's have him do some stuff on our website.
Yep.
And actually nurture you to do what you want to do.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking you said you were like, first, second, third grade, you kind of just start grabbing their digital camera that records video and you just go to town. And I'm thinking, when I was in first, second, third grade, if you wanted to video record something, you had to have something about as big as that shelf over there with a giant reel-to-reel VHS tape in it and carry it around. You had to strap it to you. You had to have a flashlight on top to light everything. If you wanted to edit stuff, you needed to have multiple VCRs, or you needed to cut reels. Which our school had a video editing program, and they had the VHS version of it, so you could do VHS reel-to-reel stuff, but they also had like a cutting bay where you could go in there and cut stuff and tape it all back together still. Granted, they had digital because it was just starting to come out. But like, yeah, I mean, that's what made me think of this, like a difference in the times.
What cracks me up about you saying that is that just recently, just about like a year or two ago, I found our family's like old, heavy like box camcorder, and every single video, like when I was still like a toddler, every single video where my mom or dad's recording me, I'm like, let me see it, and like I would always like steal it and then like just like watch myself like on the camera. I just remember like always like stealing the camera and then like playing it back and like watching myself.
Walking into Target, waving at the cameras at the top
Oh my
there. You know,
gosh.
I did that plenty, but yeah.
I still do that.
No, I love it. It also makes me think, I wonder if things like, because I mean, you're 15 plus years younger than me. So like, I wonder if apps like Vine or like making reels and things like that, you know, like the infancy of all that stuff. Do you think that had something to do with maybe your generation just being more apt to being more creative on video?
I honestly think so. I was going to say, because right around the time when my parents were allowing me to be on social media was when Vine was at its peak. And I do remember like my friends and I, we would always make the short, like little 6-second clips. Most of them were like humor related, obviously.
Yeah.
But I think because when we started doing that, it started like my friends were doing it too. And then friends of friends. And I'm like, we're all like, maybe we're pulling like 2 or 3 likes for a video, but I mean, we're still making videos.
Yeah.
Like I thought it was kind of cool, like seeing us all individually, like trying to make our own comedy is what I should say.
Yeah. I mean, I love it. You know, that again, that's something that I didn't have growing up that you did. And I mean, like even Mac, you're just a little bit older than him. That's still something that's like, you would have been probably like close to preteens or teens when that stuff was kind of starting to come out.
I remember when it was such a big deal that we got computers at school, like laptops that were our own personal laptop.
Yeah.
Like I remember that, like we were one of the first schools and we just thought that was like the biggest thing. So
What cracks me up about that is my 6th grade year. So for how small of a school we are, I'm surprised we had MacBooks like assigned to all of us.
Wow.
Yeah, at the time. But I remember I was so obsessed with like Minecraft at the time. And
Who wasn't,
I
honestly?
downloaded this animation software called Blender. And throughout 6th grade, like I could look back on some of it, but in some of it's like not so good looking. But I mean, it was kind of cool. I went through and I animated like a whole, well, except like the climax bit, but like a Minecraft movie. And I remember like the script was like 20 something pages. Like I don't know how. I don't want to look back at. I can look back at the dialogue, but I never do. And we went through with like animating it, like it wasn't rendered yet, but I was gonna say on the last day of school, we had like I said, I was not school smart, so I had restrictions put on my computer for failing my literacy class at the time. And on the last day of school, I went to go get my restrictions off so I could transfer the files over. And he erased my computer.
Oh no!
And literally, I just remember because I only lived like a block away from the school. I just like ran home crying.
Oh no! Yeah, but you also got to think you're like in 6th grade.
I know.
With Blender software, making animated videos and writing 20-page scripts. Like, are you serious?
I still like
I was
on
not that
my YouTube
dedicated to
channel. I still
anything.
I could show you sometime here, but I still do have some videos of me just like in the process of like animating it.
That's wild. That's so crazy.
you had way more motivation than I would ever have for
I don't
that.
even know where the motivation came from. I had no motivation to do school stuff, but I had motivation to do that in my off time.
Well, I had a little bit of that growing up because I mean, like Windows Movie Maker was a thing that was just kind of starting to be like usable, but it was super bulky and you had to have a lot of space on your computer to do it back in the day, which whatever. But like, I remember I made a lot of like highlight videos for like sports or pro wrestling or things that I was interested in. It's like, well, let me just download a whole bunch of videos on the internet and mush them all together and make a highlight reel and put a song by Creed in the background or something because that was about the time. And and that was kind of like what I did, but I wasn't making like whole scripts, you know, like.
Well, I was gonna say, I would try editing back in 5th grade. Like I would download a video editing app. Like I didn't know I could use iMovie at the time, but I would like pull in like Linkin Park songs and then throw Transformers clips over it and like try to sync it up.
Yeah, that was actually like a thing during that time span. I remember was it like Hybrid Theory? There was a Reanimation. They had some sort of crossover Transformer dudes on the front of the album. Whatever. Yep. Yeah, I remember that. That was totally a thing. Yeah. So you're working here at Spin Market. You're doing some interning. Sounds like we've got the right guy to do some video stuff here. So what kind of things are you doing now that you're here, I know that your internship here is pretty open-ended because you're just kind of like freelancing here, you know, but what are some things they've had you do here?
Honestly, for right now, just mainly like video editing stuff, but I've also just kind of like helped out with what I can. Like I know I've helped out with what you work on, and I know I've helped Cheryl with stuff she's pitched on to me. Just kind of little things for right now, just because since like due to the time I'm here and whatnot, but I'm always able to bust it out within the time frame that I have as well.
Yeah,
So.
that was like one thing we're trying to do. Like we're trying to edit some old videos and audio for some podcasts that we're doing, or some older podcasts that we had done. And I was like, well, if I get all this stuff like put in a folder, I bet I can just say I need this done and you can do it. I gave you like a 10-minute instruction, and I left for the day because I had to go do something, and it was done by the time I came in the morning. And it was, we were only here for like 2 hours, so I was like, all right, we got the right guy for the job here, you know. So it's, but yeah,
I was gonna say it was kind of cool. I know I helped Cheryl with the Fort Dodge mural video, which is kind of cool. Like, I mean, it wasn't a crazy edit or anything. It was just kind of replacing some of the older, more COVID-related images with updated ones. Oh, yeah. But it's still kind of cool, like, playing that part, you know, because I know the result of it could result in Fort Dodge getting a mural if they win the competition. So I'm like, you know, it's kind of cool. Like, if just playing that little bit of a part into it. So
I think I still have that jingle.
Oh my god!
Over and over in my head.
Yes.
So Fort Dodge is your town.
I'm just so glad I wasn't the one that had to edit that.
I just kept hearing him replaying it, and I just like
she was
sat
like, "Why
there
are
like,
you playing
oh
that so many times?" I'm
gosh.
like, "Because I'm editing it.
It's
I'm
his
gonna be
only
sick of
song he
this."
ever listens to.
I'm like, I'm not even halfway through it yet.
I love it. I'm trying to boost the plays on YouTube. We're just playing it over and over again. The first 5 seconds, you know. No, but that is really cool though, because I mean, like, you have the opportunity as an intern to basically impact the town that you're in, getting a mural that's funded by the state. You know, which is like, what? Like, if anybody like told me that at one of my internships, I would have been like, this is nuts. You know, like, like your art is helping possibly bring more art into town.
Exactly. That's why I was like, I'm in when Cheryl brought it up. So
yeah, it's super cool. I also know you do some stuff outside of here. So like one of the things would be the Fort Dodge Fine Arts Association website. You're kind of like if you have downtime here and nobody has any busy work for you, I guess more or less. That's kind of what you work on.
Yeah. So they do these shining art. Artist spotlight and shining stars. It's like these two little categories they have for people with talent throughout the town. So for kids and adults as well. And all I really got to do for now is just update it. But I also kind of went through and kind of added more of their color scheme through the website, just like little bits of changes for right now. But I know that I got in contact with Shelly just recently, and we're discussing like what other major changes we're going to want to make with the website going forward.
Oh,
so,
nice.
Yeah.
I mean, that's one of those cool things where she was like, well, we got an intern here. He's looking to, you know, get his name out there, stamp his name on something, build his portfolio. And she's like, well, here, just take this small section of the website and see what you can do to it. Because it's cumbersome. Yeah. You know, and at least now we know that you did a good enough job that she's like, well, maybe let's look at another section of the website and kind of tinker with it a little bit, you know? That's really cool. I think the color scheme thing is something a lot of people overlook. It's usually not the first thing on my mind, but I'm sure you two, it's like it's the very first thing you notice. Like, what is this color doing in here? It's not in any of the logos. It's not in any of the anything.
I just remember I was joking with Shelly because when you get onto the first page, it says like inspiring a vibrant community. I'm like, let's incorporate the colors more with that statement being up at the front, just so it kind of adds to it and whatnot. So
yeah, again, I would have just been like that. The text is there. It's in the middle. Looks great. But you know, again, that's why you guys are doing this and I'm not. But I mean, for anybody like that's listening or whatever, Mac, you made the graphic for this. You do a lot of the graphics for a lot of the podcasts, and what you haven't, you've helped me manipulate into being something I can use. So like,
I try sometimes.
Yeah. So all the graphics that are being made for this, most of it's Mac, or Max has some hand in it somehow to make it so I can do what I need to do. So thank you for that. Yeah. Color schemes and everything. It's beautiful. So All right, so we got the Fort Dodge Fine Arts Association website. You're doing stuff with that. Do you prefer doing more like web design or audio video work, or like do you have a preference? Do you do much graphic design?
I actually like audio and video is my preferred kind of area, but like I probably do graphic design the most. Because I do weekly sports posters for Woodard Granger still. Oh, cool. And I think it's pretty cool because my brother, who is the starting quarterback for the team right now, he's a junior in high school, is the number 1 ranked quarterback in 1A right now.
Oh, cool.
And is in 3rd leading touchdowns in the state.
Awesome.
I love just like we're kind of bouncing off one another. Just
you'll be like you're putting together basically newsletters or bulletins of some sort.
Well, no, so just kind of just like posters where it's like South Hamilton at Woodard Granger, and then throw in the players, and then kind of making it some kind of graphics. Like I did one last week where it was their senior night, and I made it look like the Avengers Endgame poster. And so I thought that one was pretty cool. That's by far my favorite one.
My God.
But
that's awesome. Like, again, I would have never thought about it. I would just like, well, put some logos on there, maybe a helmet or two, and get the colors close and call it good, But that's again why you guys are doing this, and that's really neat. Like, also for you to like leave the school and they're still just like, hey, you want to still just like do some stuff for us? Freelance
exactly. Well, so my mom runs the quarterback club over there, and so she kind of helped throws in a word for me and whatnot as well. But this gal, Jessica Gahn, who does all the sports photography for Woodard Granger, she's helped kind of boost me to where I am now as well. Like she donated me a Nikon D4S, which is like $1,000 camera.
Oh, nice.
And just lended it to me after she bought a new camera.
Oh.
And so that helped me really get a nice quality camera for once to take some photos as well. And so usually when they do shoots for like Woodard Granger and stuff for like football, for example, this season, she had me come by and then come up with like spitball some ideas for poses and stuff for them to do. So that was kind of fun, just her and I bouncing off each other.
That's awesome too. You got somebody there kind of like helping you out. It's one of those deals where it's like, you learn how to be a race car driver, but all you have is like, a 98, Toyota Celica or something. It's just like, well, I got something a little nicer, a little newer you can ride around in a little bit. See how good you actually are, and build up that portfolio. And that's, again, you're going there, you're kind of helping out like, well, maybe if we pose them like this or do something like that, it might be kind of cool, I think that's also something it gets brought up a little bit here and there in podcasts, but like photography is definitely undersold, I think, as far as like an art form. Anybody can snap a picture, but if you have the eye for it, that's something special.
Yeah, I was going to say, graphic design and photography as well, because I know a lot of people usually come to me for like, oh, hey, senior photos or family photos. Like I just got done doing my girlfriend's family photos this weekend. So, but I think I really do like the photography aspect of it because it's just all interaction. I really do like interacting with people, and I know it's really not for some people. Like some people do have the eye, but it's also like, how do I tell them how to pose this way, or how do I? But I just love like getting them out of their comfort zone as much as I can, and just kind of playing with the vision a little bit. So
100%. I always think that like every time I've ever had portraits taken, I always feel like I get like, there we go, I look good, and they're like, no, you need to sit up and then lean this way and turn your shoulders. But then, by the time I'm done, I always feel like I'm just like a Ken doll that they're just like,
because you are.
I'm just hoping they know what they're doing.
Your arms like bent like this.
It's fun. Yeah, I mean, again, that takes talent. It's something that is like intangible that might just be like inborn into people that, or maybe practice helps. I don't know, but again, having an eye for that for sure, it's something special. So, at school, you learned how to do graphic design. Probably web design, maybe some basic video and audio editing, and so the major portions of what you need to do. So learning that there, and then kind of trying to apply it into a marketing place, or seeing what other things they're doing, or like Mackenzie and the other Mackenzie, Abby, seeing what they're doing. Is it something that you like? We're just like, well, I actually never thought about doing it that way. Or at school, I've realized I learned how to do that, but I never knew how to apply it in the way that you guys were. Or is it I know how to do all this stuff, but there's also a customer service aspect to it I never thought about.
So I do. That's why I do like doing independent projects here and there, just because so I can apply my own vision and whatnot. But definitely like client aspect plays a lot into it, because sometimes you can willfully like be like, oh hey, I'm gonna go like this, and then they're like, I don't like it, and then you have to kind of take a step back and be like, okay, I'm gonna have to get out of my own comfort zone, and because since through like what I do a lot of like freelance, and I know some people come to me with like graphics and stuff, and I'll be like, hey, I'll be like, oh, here it is, and they're like, I'm like, oh, this looks so awesome, this looks great, and then they're like, can you do this? And I'm like, oh shoot, all right.
My feelings would get so hurt, like
I know,
so fast.
I don't know. It's hard to like not take it personally. So
It is. It really is.
But I mean, maybe that's one of those things where it's like, I made you a pizza, and they're just like, I don't like pineapple on pizza, and it's like, well, they're okay not liking pineapple on pizza, you know. But at the same time, it's like, but I made it, and I feel bad, you know.
Well, I think first of all, they have the right to be mad at you for putting pineapple on pizza in the first
I
place.
I do not eat pineapple on pizza either.
Wow, I feel alone.
I mean, that's really neat. You know, it's like I always think about that when you go from school to a job. There's always that like, I know all this stuff, but it's in a new place.
Yeah.
I haven't quite done exactly this. I don't know how to describe it, but you know, I think it's just interacting with the customers, or, you know, you have somebody else having some input, even if it's like, I can do this on my own anytime I want, but like when I have maybe even a boss or an administrator saying like, we probably got to get this done by the end of the day. It's like, then you're like, oh man, I mean, I could do this all day and night with my eyes closed, but if I have a time crunch, it's like,
Yeah.
You know?
So that's why I do really like when you do have the versatility of no time. That's why I like prefer just doing independent projects, just because like I work on my own time frame, and I'm like, you know what, if I don't do it today, I'll do it tomorrow. If I don't do it tomorrow, I'll do it the next day.
Yeah, 100%. So is there anything that we offer here, or we do here, that you like have seen somebody do or heard us talk about that you're just like, I kind of wished I knew more about that, or you want to get your fingers in on it a little bit?
Just honestly, like the video recording aspect of things, just because I have just recently like kind of upped my equipment when it comes to like video recording stuff. So I just got a gimbal over the winter, and like I really want to get into more going out there and shooting with the more advanced equipment that I've had beforehand.
Yeah.
And I know that you guys have gimbals and
Yes, we
everything
do.
like that. So
Yep.
I've just always been really interested in just kind of getting out there and going to shoot. So
I know we've brought it up. I think we talked about it maybe once, like not on the podcast, but like I saw a thing online when I was looking up gimbals, and it was like, you know, what did the first gimbal look like, and how do they work, and what's the deal with them? And like somebody had realized that chickens, when they walk, they keep their heads steady.
yeah, yep.
And so a chicken is basically a gimbal. So this guy was going around filming like a whole bunch of stuff with a chicken as his gimbal. It's online somewhere. Go Google it. I'm not putting a link to that down below.
I do. One of my great aunts just like tagged me in something on Facebook with the chicken being compared to the gimbal. So
Can you please just post that at the bottom of this?
Scroll into the descriptions. You never know what's down there.
But like you gotta disguise it, so it'll be like click to Facebook and it's just a chicken.
Chicken gimbal. Oh my gosh, I love it. Oh, it's so good. So yeah, I mean, that's something I feel like we do offer here at Spin. It's something we don't do enough of, I would say, is video work. We do some video work, and it's usually you know, Mac, doing a lot of the video work here. But, you know, again, I feel like it's something, I don't know how we would apply it the way to get the most out of it, I think.
honestly, there's just really not much of a market for it. You know what I mean? Like, it's very,
It's like niche, unless you're doing like a commercial. I don't really know quite, or like, yours is mostly for stuff for websites.
Yeah, I mean, I
Mostly.
do a lot of like, I mean, the most videos that I've done recently have been kind of like a commercial or website background videos. Like, you know, the very first video that you see on a website, that tends to be most of what we do here, at least that I've seen for videos.
Yeah, they did a couple of them for like One Vision. I know we had somebody, we had hired like a freelancer on the side to come and help out with that a little bit too. So I don't know if he had all the equipment we had or what, but either way, our powers combined, we're still working on one of the videos, but like we've got a couple of them cranked out that were like, you know, by the time they're done, I'd said it before, it's like these things are like literally like a commercial. Like you would watch it on TV, that's that high quality. But again, it takes time and energy and to do that, you know, and not everyone has the budget or need for a 30, 40, 50, 60-second commercial with a full day's worth of shooting, you know.
I was going to say, because it is a lot to charge for a commercial, because it's a lot of work to put into it. And I feel like a lot of businesses aren't wanting to put that much money
especially
in.
like the one video that I remember doing, that recently it was with a drone, and of course we hired it out because we don't have a drone here. That'd be awesome. Can we please get one? Anyways,
right? Do you have to get licensed for that?
But yeah, you have to have like a certain like license. Like, isn't there like almost like a pilot's license?
Something like that. Yeah.
So I just got certified on that.
What?
But like, because it was required to graduate.
I guess now we have to get a drone.
Get a drone.
But like that alone, like because you have to get the certification, the drones cost like a certain, and if you want a good one, you got to pay, good amount for it.
Yeah.
They charge a lot of money for that.
It's insane.
It's worth it because the footage is always fantastic. I've never seen someone's drone footage and not been like, well, look how smooth that is. Look how nice it is,
So you've made a lot of these kind of videos and things like that over time, like you talked about growing up, you were just kind of making them for funsies, and then you realize like, well, this is something I'm kind of interested in. Let me go to college. And then you're like, well, I need to pivot and go to college and apply more of video, graphic design, web design, etc. into my day to day. So I can, get better at it. Have you ever taken any of these videos that you've made just for fun and entered them in a contest or anything like that? Or have they ever been for a purpose up until basically college-ish time?
I would, but I feel I use too much copyrighted music.
Yeah, that's definitely a tough one.
I think that's definitely what steps back, because I use music is what helps me kind of brainstorm, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh boom, that's the exact song I'm thinking for that scene. And then usually when I upload these to YouTube, they're never for profit or anything. So usually I don't get like a copyright strike, but I know that for film contests they're kind of on you for that.
Yeah.
But I did attend the 48-hour film festival, where I was a participant of that back in 2020. So I got a group of friends, and what they do is they assign you a genre, and you have 48 hours to write, film, and edit, and then submit it. And it was not good. It was not good. So which cracks me up is, so the movie that we're making now is kind of like, it has subtle jokes hinting laughing at the 48-hour film festival short film that we made's expense.
Okay.
And so the name of that 48-hour film is the name of the movie that our character starred in back in the 2000s.
Yeah, I remember you talking about
so
that.
I feel like it was just kind of like a funny nod, and in the canon of the world or whatever, it's was a really bad movie.
Yes.
But our two genres that we had, and I was just I was so thrown off guard by it, because they assign you two random genres, right? And I was like, we got holiday vacation or film day femme, and I'm like, we don't have any females on our team, so we can't do film day femme.
So you have to do holiday.
We had to do so we did holiday vacation. I'm like, you know what, Halloween's right around the corner. What if we made them go on a Halloween trip or something? And whipped it up, and I just remember my friend TJ and we were just writing the script in a McDonald's for 2 hours, and just kind of spitballing ideas. And we just shot it the next day, and his parents helped a lot, with us setting up tents to pull off the set and stuff. But like I said, we were all very unprepared and unexperienced to the stakes that were at hand, because we're okay, this is actually a film festival. And once we finished it, we watched it, we're this is not good. So we didn't even watch it when they premiered them or anything.
So was that 48-hour film contest, is that something that was at the college, or was it an Iowa thing, or was it a national thing you found on the internet?
So it's an Iowa thing.
Okay.
And so I did it. It was my senior year is when we did it, and it was right after quarantine.
Okay.
So yeah, literally, honestly, I was kind of fresh into interacting again.
Yeah.
So But I mean, it was like a nice experience to like get our feet wet, and it like I mean, I know all of us. I know my friend TJ. He's trying to go into like producing and directing and stuff like that. He's at Iowa, but I mean, it was definitely like a nice like first experience. You know, like I mean, we took the step and we fell, but I mean, we picked. It's just a matter of like looking back on it.
Yeah,
So.
I mean, you're failing forward.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
something I've been hearing a lot of lately is failing forward. But yeah, I mean, it's you're out there doing it is the thing. You know, again, you have to actually like go out there and make something. Like I could have just sat here and talked about like, oh yeah, I was gonna make a movie for that and I didn't. You know, but even if you made it and you didn't think you personally didn't think it was any good, it doesn't mean other people didn't think it was good.
Yeah, that is true. I mean, yeah, art is like subjective.
Yeah,
so.
yeah. I mean, it's kind of like working out. If you work out at all, you lap everyone that just sat on the couch.
Yeah,
it doesn't matter how hard you worked out.
That's true. That is true.
So I like it. I like it a lot. I mean, I feel like that's something. It's this creativity and this desire that you have like internally. It's not because somebody's telling you to make a video. You're just like, I want to make one.
Yeah. I was gonna say, it's just that self-motivation aspect to it.
100%. You mentioned making a video. You're making like a little short film kind of deal, right? And this short film references back to your 48-hour film contest. We were lucky enough here in the office to view your trailer for this, the little intro trailer you made, which is actually, let's be honest, it seems pretty entertaining.
Yeah, it's definitely entertaining.
Yeah, the concept for it all and like generally how it's being pulled off it's funny. It seems like somehow kind of serious, but it's funny. So do you want to talk like a little bit about it so you don't give it all away?
I was gonna say what kind of inspired me to make it was there's this Walking Phoenix movie. Is it I'm Still Here, I think it's called, where it's like a fake documentary. It's like a mockumentary, and it's about Walking Phoenix quitting acting to become a rapper. And so like he literally like plays himself in it, and I always thought it was just like such a weird like interesting concept. So I'm like, what if it was like that, but in like a really quirky world where say like Freddy or Jason or like Michael Myers, like they're all like celebrities in this world where it's like those three are the A-listers and you have like your B-listers or whatever.
Yeah, they're like real people.
Yeah. But the movie kind of follows like a D-lister who's like a has-been, and he's trying to rise his way back into stardom. But the way he's doing that is he hires a documentary crew, and they're all college students because he's like so cheap. So
it even plays into, because I mean you're essentially a college student, making the movie anyway.
Exactly. So I we're like we got to use the what we had, like the reality of us filming this, like play it into the story itself.
Again, brilliant.
And so I just thought it was so funny.
Instead of like maybe seeing it as a limitation and trying to get around it, you just incorporate it in and now it's just part of the thing.
Yeah, so there is on YouTube right now, because what originally motivated us to make this movie was because for our digital media class for video production, I remember our first year we had to we didn't know what we were going to do for advanced video production. I pitched to my professor, I'm like, what if we just like dedicated the whole semester to making a movie? And first semester we tried making this movie Tucker, did not pan out like as a class, but the following year when they had video production again, she had people split up into groups this time and everyone made their own movies. And so I was in a new media class where it's just the points to be counted are just make a project and do something. Mm-hmm. And so I'm like, what if I helped my roommates who are freshmen like with their movie thing, and like because might as well just kind of play into it. And honestly, like it was just kind of fun going around and like getting out and like actually filming this time, because we knew that we're like, what if we did like stationary shots and whatnot and like we bump it, it's gonna look so unprofessional. So we're like, what if we add like the shakiness to the aesthetic and just film it as a documentary?
Yeah.
And so literally it's just like the poor quality of it all adds to the aesthetic of it.
Yes. And I will say it's not actually poor quality. I mean, it's something you might notice because you did it.
Yeah,
but
yep, that's fair.
I watched the trailer the other day, and it's like looked great,
cohesive,
hilarious.
But I was gonna say, but on the YouTube channel, we had to like make that final deadline. And for honestly, on YouTube right now, they do have I would just say our rough draft of the film, because we had to originally like immediately rush the ending, because we filmed the scene at the ledges, and then we came back and we're like, it's like, okay, 2 more days and it's finals. Like it's the class's premiere or whatever. And I'm like, oh, we're just gonna have to immediately dive into like the ending speech and whatnot. But what we're gonna do this week is just kind of redo the ending, redub some lines, like just kind of mess with the audio a little bit, because there are some scenes where it's like really quiet or like really loud, and so I'm just like, might as well just take this time to polish it off and then drop it on Halloween, which would make so much more sense, adding to the aesthetic of what the movie's about. So
oh yeah, 100%. I mean, this is going to come out just before Halloween. What day is it coming out? Do you know, or do you have like a day that it's going to be released?
So I was talking with Shelly and Rochelle, and so they're doing a like photo shoot, like a Halloween photo shoot on the 30th at the ATB on campus
at Iowa Central.
Yeah, yep. And Rochelle just she was like, why don't we just like premiere your movie after that? Because that's on the 30th, but I'm planning on dropping the movie on YouTube on October 31st. Nice. So just the following day. But I feel like it'd be kind of cool to like have more of a group, like more people being able to attend and watch it. And I know Shelly we were talking about like, what if we just like posted posters and stuff. Like this is just kind of us like messing around, like spitballing ideas and stuff. And I was like, I was kind of like thinking about doing that. And so anyways, I like printed some posters that are gonna go up around like the Fort Dodge High School.
So
There's gonna be some around campus. Maybe we'll throw some around like some of the businesses here in Fort Dodge just for the week going forward, and then hopefully it's a big turnout. So
that's so cool. I'm just thinking like if I was in high school, it's like there's some college kid that made a movie. I'm gonna go see it. Like that's so cool.
That's what's nice about working the rec here and there, because like all the kids are working, like they'll be like, "What are you working on?" I'm like, "Oh, just our movie that we've been making." It's like, "Oh, dude, when are you coming out with it?" And then they're like genuinely invested into it. So I think it's pretty cool, because it just kind of shows it's like, oh yeah, no, dude, like I'm down to help, because I know there are some kids who are into film that are here, and I'm like, dude, if you ever wanted like any like tips or tricks or anything, like just reach out.
Yeah.
Like all my social medias are linked and whatnot. So
yeah, I mean, I always think with stuff like that, it's like, well, I mean, it's not like you have to hold a camera, but you can come watch the process if you want to. You know?
Exactly. But like I said, like I love helping, because usually when it comes to like freelance related stuff, but if it's like in a project that I'm truly invested into, I'll just like straight up do it for free sometimes, because just I like helping people with their smaller projects, because I'm like, where was someone like that when I was trying to make stuff like that back then? And so there's some people on campus that like reach out and it's like, hey, I need this video recorded for my album trailer coming out stuff like that. So it's just like little bits and pieces. I'm like, dude, yeah, I'll just record it for you, and then you just do with it as you please. So
yeah, I mean, you said album. You had mentioned to me one other time that it's like you've made either music video or music videos or things things of that nature for people here and there. How many have you made, or like is that just, and again, just like a freelancey kind of thing?
It is honestly like a freelance thing. I wouldn't say I've made any like music videos yet for like people who are already independent, but like I said, I made a trailer for this kid, Killacam 573 is what he goes by on campus, and he had me do his trailer for his album that was coming out, and it was just kind of fun. Like he was like, yo, I need you to pull up, come do these videos real quick. And I'm like, yeah, sure, might as well. And kind of like threw my vision into it a little bit, but he ended up like really liking it. But there's some kids around Des Moines and whatnot that want me to do their music videos, but it's just because I'm spending so much time up here. I still have to find a way to incorporate that into my schedule and whatnot. So
Oh yeah, time consuming for sure. Plus, let's also be honest. Like you're gonna end up going the same route you did with that Fort Dodge mural video, where it's like, after I play this 487 times,
yeah, I'm probably never gonna listen to your music again.
Yeah. I've only in my life ever made a couple music videos, and it's just like, I'll play the song if I'm playing guitar, but I'm not gonna pull it up and listen to it probably on my own.
That's the one thing that sucks about like editing the movie or like anything in general that requires a song that you like. I'm like, dude, I'm gonna hate this song so much when I'm done done editing this. So
100%. Even if it's just like, I think about it with, I mean, probably editing anything. It's like a photo. You're like, I'm tired of looking at this, or like making a logo. You're like,
yeah,
I just need a couple days away from this logo so I can come back with a fresh mind, because it's like I can only dink with the way that this letter curves so many times before I'm like, I'm done. I'm just done.
Yeah, I was
It's
gonna
an
say
everyday thing.
with my Blankscape stuff or whatever, dude. It took me so long to like figure out a logo that I wanted. I think I went through probably about like 10 to 15 different logos before I got like settled on like what I wanted to do. Because like the like Blankscape Studios, I just ended up taking the B and then like putting the S inside the B. I'm like, you know what? That finally fits.
Yeah.
Like there were so many different kinds of revisions that I went through that I'm just like, I would make it like my profile picture on my accounts, but then I would sit on it for like a week and I'm like, it needs reworking.
Yeah,
and I'll have to do it again.
So Blankscape, for those that don't know, because this is like basically the first time we mentioned it, that's what your production or your studio goes as.
Yeah.
That's you doing the work.
Yeah, this is kind of like all my freelance related stuff. So I mean, like if anyone reaches out for like a website or photos or a video or graphics, I just do it under the Blankscape name, just so it all kind of counts towards that. But I do have like I guess like a branch where I just go like by Blankscape photography, because I know there's some people that are only there for that kind of business. So
it's kind of like, I mean, not necessarily like a company, but it's almost kind of like a company, but it's like your portfolio too.
Basically. Definitely works as my
I think you're just
portfolio.
mushing the two together. I like that.
Yep. So whenever I get an opportunity, I'll just post it on Facebook, Instagram, whatever. So
all right. Yeah, man. I mean, we're getting real close to the end here. I do want to say I noticed you're wearing an REO Speedwagon shirt.
Yeah.
It's easy to notice that logo. We talked about band logos in the Scott Kirkhart episode. That was one of our more popular episodes. If you need logos, look no further than bands. They're important. You can use them for 40 years and they still look cool.
Yeah. I don't think they ever changed theirs.
No. I saw you in here the other day in a Casey and the Sunshine Band shirt. Like,
it cracks me up that you bring that up, because it's my grandma, out of all people, that I go to these concerts with.
That's so cool.
And so because I'm not gonna find anyone my age who wants to go to these kind of concerts.
Oh.
And so it's my grandma who's like, oh yeah, REO's playing, Styx is playing, Casey and the Sunshine Band, which was the most recent one because they were just playing in Des Moines. But like I always say, I'm like, yeah, we're going to let's go to this concert. Yeah, exactly.
That's so cool. I think that was one of the first things I noticed when you came here. I was just like, this guy likes good music. All right, let's see what he's all about, you know? So
He's okay then.
yeah, he's all right. He's doing all right. That's kind of like me when I went to Iowa Central. Vince Benishek was just like, that's what he first noticed about me, was like all the band shirts. He's like, you like good music. And I'm like, all right, I might like this guy.
Yeah, I would say like half of my closet is just like band shirts. And half of that half is probably like all Grateful Dead shirts.
I love it. Oh, it's so fun. All right, so we're down to the last question here, which is probably the toughest one. Is there a time in your life where marketing impacted you and you possibly didn't know it until after the fact?
Honestly, like I think it was just kind of, you got to think about other people who are marketing themselves like through freelance, and how I kind of like eventually like took after that, because I know I was a very like shy kid, which I mean probably very surprising now, but like I was like a very shy kid, and I was like too nervous to ever like put my stuff out there, really like share it with kids in my grade and whatnot. And so I would see like the freelances around like Woodward Granger and like just kind of even like the Grimes communities and stuff, and be like, okay, how do they push themselves out there? How do they like market themselves? How do they know like what their business is about? And then I eventually kind of like started learning more and more, and then because I used to go by landscape films. And then I'm like, oh, that's so bland. And then I'm like Blankscape. That's like such a cool sounding word. I'm like, looked it up. I'm like, no one's ever used that word.
Nice.
So I was like, kept the scape part into it, and then eventually just went from there. But it was honestly my friend Joe and I that kind of spitballed the name originally, and I'm like, it's just kind of stuck since.
I mean, that's really cool. I never thought about it that way. Like, marketing impacted you when it came down to the fact that you realized you kind of, in a sense, had to market yourself. You just looked at what marketing you preferred to look at, and you were just I like this, I like this, I like this. Let's put them all together in a can, and now it's mine.
Exactly. So, and that's what I was kind of like glad about doing the new movie for this time, because obviously originally we didn't really have the ability to market it because all the other students were doing their films as well, and I'm like, I'm not gonna put my stuff out there crazily right now to like overshadow everyone else's. Like, I'm not gonna do that. But now that we can redo this, I'm like, I'm throwing out trailers, I'm throwing out posters, I'm gonna do whatever I can to market the movie coming out.
Yeah, might as well. Let's do one more time. The movie's coming out. When is it?
It's called Eyes Without a Face, a real documentary. A real documentary. But
it's real in the fact that you made it.
Yeah, exactly. But it's gonna be coming out. So, like I said, we're gonna be premiering it on the 30th at the ATB here on campus at Iowa Central at 8:00. And then from there, I'm going to be releasing it on the Blankscape Studios YouTube channel.
Sweet. So make sure you go check that out at Iowa Central. I honestly might go check it out. You said it was free, I think, the other day.
Yeah. Everyone
I'm
just
in.
walk in.
All right, I'm in. Let's do it.
We're just all going to show up.
Yeah, right.
Might as well. I mean, I'd go watch it. But otherwise, I'll have a link down below if you can't make it up to Iowa Central on that day, so you can check out his YouTube channel and go find it over there.
You should start selling those masks.
I know, I need to. I mean, it was a pain to stitch that thing together, though. So,
well, I just got to find someone else to do it.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, right.
Get it like thrown into like a factory or something where they just make it right off the bat.
I'm in. Let's do it.
It just reminds me of like the Scream masks, like when the in the movies, even everybody's wearing them and stuff.
Yeah.
So it's like,
Yep. Oh man. All right. Well, Kainen, I thank you very much for sitting down here talking with us.
Thank you guys for having me on
taking
here.
Taking time out of your day. I mean, like, obviously we're here at work, and I mean, it's basically whatever any of us or Cheryl says we need this done, you just kind of go do it. So thank you for coming over to the podcast room and recording the podcast with us. I appreciate it. That movie's going to be cool. I don't know which camera's on me. Make sure you check it out online. It's going to be really fun. Otherwise, just go to Iowa Central and check it out. Might as well. Like,
hey, this movie could make, history or something.
Yeah, right.
I mean, you never know. Again, this like I said, this could be one of those DVD special features when you're the next, name a director.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. This is awesome. Thanks again, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah, I appreciate y'all.
This podcast is produced by Spin Market and Digital. Located in Fort Dodge, Iowa, Spin Market's highly skilled team can help you increase your market by updating your website, improving SEO, designing advertisements, and producing podcasts that will grab the attention of your market. Contact Spin Market today for all your digital marketing needs at Digital Agent at spinmarket.com or call us at 515-302-8026. And to learn more, visit our website at www.spinmarket.com. That's Digital Agent at spinmarket.com or 515-302-8026. Or visit our website at www.spinmarket.com.